What's good, everybody? This your boy Jonesville, Carolina's Freedom. Hell out North Carolina. Here to come back to give you some updates and some advice on this new platform here for my YouTube page. Um, Help it go viral. Share this shit with Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Twitter, whatever you have. You know what I'm saying? In this platform here, what I do is talk about child support and custody and things that people need to know the basics or whatever. So, without further ado, let's just jump right into it. This is just one of the first videos that I'm going to jump off this YouTube right here. It's a celebration for a destination that you're trying to get to, which is being back at home, left alone on your throne. Pick up the phone, holler at your boy Jonesville, because I'm going to tell you some things you need to know before you go to that child support hearing. Okay? Child support is not a state program. Let's start there. It's a federal program ran by your state. Whatever state you live here in the United States of America, it is a federal run program. A federal program run by your state. Let's start there. Now, let's debunk how you got on child support, which are the myths, which are the child mother put you on there, the county put you on there because that's where you're going in that county where the child lives at, or the state put you on child support wherever you reside. That is all real lies. That's where it comes from. That's just where the intent from it is. It's a lie upon a lie. Okay, how you got put on child support is your child is the one that put you on the child support because you had 10 days, 10, in order for you to claim your child and that mother to claim your child. You never did. Y'all signed that birth certificate at the hospital that y'all was at and never literally took ownership of your child. So what, unbeknownst to both of y'all, what y'all actually did at that time was gave your child back to the state. Okay, unbeknownst to y'all, because this is where the generation curses get broke, and this is where the facts meets the road. Some people say rubber meets the road, but I'm saying facts because you have a truth, facts, and beliefs. You believe you're doing the wrong thing, but you're actually not. That's a fact. The truth of the matter is you signed your child away back to the state, unbeknownst to you, because the truth is that's what your mom and daddy, your grandparents, your aunts and uncles have always taught you. So if you don't know no better, how can you do better? Hence, this is where they say in the word, if you're a Christian or you have a faith-based religion where they say generation curses need to be ended and stopped, and that stops with you today because now you know how actually things are done when it came to actually getting the rights to your child. At that time, what you were supposed to do was to register your own child's birth at your registered deeds place in the county that the child was born in, letting the world know and the government know that you are the parents. You own this child. So now, forevermore, that you don't need to keep making the exact same simple mistakes because somebody here is telling you to do better. You can fact check me because this ain't what I said. This is not what I start preaching or teaching or whatever. This was here before I was born. I was born in 84. That's the birth year I was born in. That was here long before I got here. Child support didn't start to 1975, which is 9 years before I was born, but they was talking about it in 1974, which was 10 years before I even got on this earth. I've been here 40 years. For some of y'all that could do the math, I've been here 40 years. All right? So with that being said, public welfare was 1935. And what public welfare was doing was saying simply that the child was not going to be able to take care of itself by either side of the family, mother or father, aunts and uncles, cousins, brothers, nieces, nephews, whatever. Was nobody coming to take care of that child. So now that child is a ward of the state, of the federal government. They will have to issue money to the state to take care of them children. Now, if you remember in 1935, we were still so much segregated and hated to where none of these laws and stuff that they was making was for people of color. All right. So we didn't start getting rights until 1960s. So that was 30 years after 1935 to where your rights didn't really start getting enforced till 30 years later. All right. So just staying on point that now you understand how you gave up your child at the time in the hospital and what you're supposed to do and what you're not supposed to do. Now, if you let yourself, if you have another child and you do that same thing over and over, that means you want it. You like being manipulated. And also, going forward, if you got nieces and nephews and cousins and brothers and siblings and stuff like that, and you don't teach them better, then yeah, you're not doing what you're supposed to do because you know better, because you done seen this video. Let's just start there. Now let's move along. There's something called disclosures that they're supposed to give to you. Also, they're supposed to have safeguards that they were supposed to give to you that they never do. It's not my word. You just go fact check me. Just take it off a whim and go fact check me. There's something called CFRs. That's Code Federal Regulations. CFR, Code Federal Regulations. You'll book a consultation with me at the end of this video to know the funds and facts, I would call it. That was a good one. Funds and facts. I like that. But yeah, staying on point. You need these things has to be done. So remember these three words: must, shall, and will. Must, shall, and will can never ever be deviated from. That means it's not an option. They never gave you an option because how would one know you had an option if it was never disclosed to you? Think a little bit. How are you supposed to be doing something if nobody ever told you what you were supposed to be doing? To make it simpler and break it down to you, hey, you better wash them dishes before you go outside, because if you go outside without washing them dishes, you will get your butt whooped. That wasn't a maybe, wasn't a possibility. That was a fact. You had to wash them dishes before you go. So, with that being said, let's move along. So, you didn't get your disclosures and you didn't get your safeguards for it. All right. Now, the mother goes down there and apply for services. And unbeknownst to her, she's thinking that child support is a law. It is not a law. It's not a law. LAW. It's just a policy. It's something that a general statute that they have and they try to render. And I'm like, let's cut that out. Child support is not a law. How do we know this? Well, let's fact check me, right? All right, let's do this. I want you to Google Blessings versus Freestone. It was 5 women in Arizona. They went to the state of Arizona, told them that my money, and said that, hey, I'm not getting my money on time, or I'm not getting it all. And the federal government had to come in and tell them the truth. The truth of the matter is, it's not your money. It's not the father's money, and it damn sure ain't that child's money. It's for the secretary of the program to run the program officially and use it as a measuring stick to officially run the program. So now we debunk the entitlement and we debunk the right to it. Now, y'all both were supposed to be on the hook at the hospital, because both of y'all, in those disclosures, it said both of y'all. It didn't say just the mother and it didn't say just the father. Let's get this fact before I keep going on. I don't support fathers out here that don't take care of their kids. I don't support mothers out here who don't take care of their kids. What all I'm simply saying is, it don't take for a court system to be in y'all business. I want you to understand something before we move along. I want you to understand that y'all all out of the way of what things are supposed to be done. How you supposed to go about doing things before you go to a court system is you go talk to that other individual that you have a problem. They don't want to talk to you, then you go get a witness. You come back and say, hey, I'm trying to talk to this individual. They ain't want to talk about it. Whoop-de-whoop. All right, they don't want to listen. Cool. Then you go to your pastor and you talk to him and say, hey, I done try to reconcile or try to reason with the other co-parent, and they don't want to see the or the compromise or whatever. And it can't just be your way. It's the compromise. Compromise means that y'all equally are involved. It can't just be you got 60, he got 40, or she got 40 and you got 60. It don't work the way. It has to be 50-50 because y'all equally created an individual in this world. So with that being said, you go get the pastor don't talk to him. I mean, talk to him. He or she don't still do it. Then you pray to God. God is going to do more than anything that a man can do, or a woman can do, or anybody of an official here in this world can ever do, because God's wrath is something not to be played with. Let me tell you again, God's wrath is not something to be played with. And no one without sin cast down first stone, because you don't have a hell in the hell to put no one in. All you supposed to do is do what the orders of what you supposed to be doing. Whether you had a grandma or grandpa or aunt or uncle, brother, sister, cousin, you name it. If they didn't teach you the right way, I'm teaching you the right way today. You understand? I'm teaching you the right way today. It ain't no way, shape, or form, or fashion that you can go out here and say, I didn't get nothing. Because God using me right now to tell you there's a correct way to do things, and how you've been doing things are not the correct way. Keep all the other people out your business that's not that other parent. Keep them people out your business, because that's where the problem comes in, because you're too quick and you're too loose lips. Loose lips sink ships. Okay? Relationship, workmanship, friendship, co-ship. That word ends in ship. That gets you from point A to B. If it don't have a way to get you to where you need to go, which is a destination, then you need to get off that boat or off that vessel, wherever it is. Because a lot of things comes from a lot of pride and a lot of misconformed of information that ain't getting you to a destination. That is a fact. That is no longer a myth. Okay? What I'm sitting here telling you today is a lot of y'all are not informed. It's not that you're not informed, you're misinformed, because you're getting bad pieces of information. To simply show you this, they teach you this in grade school, where at the end of this desk, they tell a story. By the time it gets around, the class will get back to the person that originally said it. Guarantee it'll never be the same. It'll never be the same. And this is what goes on in our society. This is what goes on in our world. See, what you're going to have to start understanding is you better look deep inside yourself and say, hey, do I want to be right within myself, or do I want to appear to be right for someone else? Because, see, when you're doing that, that is what you have fear. FEAR is an acronym for false evidence appearing real. How do we have false evidence appearing real? So, again, like we say, how you got on child support, false evidence appearing real. The state puts you on child support. The mother puts you on child support. The county puts you on false evidence appearing real. It's not. The real fact of the matter is Social Security Administration Act put you on child support. That's who and when I'm saying that, I mean in regards of your child, because they're saying it's a ward of the state. Now it's a federal government problem, because in 1935 they said nobody on either side of the parent is going to be able to take care of this child, because nobody has claimed it and never did the right thing. Now let's stop there, put a pin in it. Let's break down the word of minority and majority. See, we know minority means that right for age of 18 and you're no longer in the adolescence or teenage mindset. But in the eyes of the laws is minority means you're not handling your affairs right. You're not doing paperwork right. You're not doing the things that you need to be instructed to do right. So they handled it for you, because you never came up and corrected your status and said that, hey, I'm taking the declaration of independence of being part of the majority. When you take an oath and disclose to your constitutional people that, hey, I'm a republic of the state that I live in. You're still a citizen. So as a citizen to them, you're not correcting your status right. So that means you're still a minor in the eyes of the law. So again, we're debunking things. You know that they didn't give you disclosures. They didn't give you the safeguards that they're supposed to do. And on the exact same time, you gave your child, unbeknownst to you and the child mother, unbeknownst to y'all, I would say, back to the state. So y'all caused this own problem based off you didn't have the information. And it was not disclosed to you, and y'all didn't have safeguards. Then at the announcement of paternity, let's get to there. The father, the alleged father, has to have this again in audio, video, and writing, and must be taught to a professional that specializes, or have a phone call with a person that specializes in this, and tell both of y'all what are the legal consequences of not taking said child. Because, see, if you don't think this is all about money, then you're stupid. Because that's all it comes from. Okay? And let me show you what the please excuse my dear Aunt Sally equation that comes from. Because you and the mother are in parentheses. In parentheses, you have to take care of that mom and dad, which is A and B. C is the child. Mom is to A, Dad is the B, and C is the child. Well, before you can do C's issues, you gotta take care of A and B. You gotta fix what's in parentheses before you can do what's outside the parentheses. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. 6 things. 6 degrees of separation. If you break that down, you start seeing the director, the secretary, the caseworker, the what you call it, child support supervisor. Then you have the judge and attorney. 6 degrees of separation, all right there. Everything is it's like universe. Things will move in and out of each other way. But I'm breaking this shit down to you in the simplest form. Okay? You're going to have to start finding out who the directors is of your programs. You got to start finding out who's the caseworkers or whatever. You better start reading your paperwork a little bit more carefully. I'm talking to the ones that are on child support. Because, see, you go in there, you don't have no facts. You don't understand it. You have to get with somebody like such as myself or somebody else that's teaching this shit that understand what's going on. So I just can't understand how people get mixed up and not under certain things when there's somebody out here that can teach you certain things and give you a better understanding. No, it's not gatekeeping. It's the fact that somebody put the time in it and they know what it's worth. But you're willing to go give that attorney all this money and he ain't going to do a damn thing for you. You don't believe me? Attorney's first job is to the court, then a public second, and then you last. How are you paying him all this money or her this money and they don't represent you? Go look at that. When any attorney say that that's wrong, I show them in the manual and I show them in the book and I show you too. You gotta learn how to represent yourself. That's why it's called the majority. You still acting like a minor. You still having people handle your affairs. So again, you have to understand these things. And you're not understanding nothing. You're just understanding the things that you're doing are just wrong as hell. Now, let's talk about to some of the remedy because I'm getting close to that 20-minute mark. There's 5 things that you need to have that slows these people down. You need to have a trust, UCC 1, security agreement, all your rights reserved, common law trademark your name, and a do not detain list. That is what creates a force field and it makes you fortified from any type of bullshit and attacks that come. Now, staying on point. Now, when they summons you to court, there's these 5 things that has to be done correctly. 1, you have a notice of hearing because somebody's giving you notice that they're about to sue you because that's all it is. Anytime somebody take you to the court, they're suing you. 2, a summons, a civil summons means that you have to appear there. 3, you got to have a copy of the complaint. 4, you got to have proof of injury. It's called something else, but it's called proof of injury. It's called something else, but we're going to make it short. Proof of injury. 5, it must be signed by a judicial judge, the clerk, and have the seal of court. Those are the 5 things how they bring you to court. If those things are not done correctly, that is a violation of civil rules of procedures according to due process. So now you know how you got on there. You know how you did things to get on there or what things that got you on there. But also while you're there, they have to respect your due process rights. See, it's nice that you have the codes, but the codes is how you punish somebody. You need to know your right, and you have to articulate what they did that violates your right. By you being there, you're adhering to what they are administering law to. And what I'm saying is there is tribunal jurisdiction, subject matter jurisdiction, and you have personal jurisdiction. By you showing up on general appearance, some say you merely waive that right, but some say you don't, but they're saying that you do. Okay? But if you don't show up on special appearance, and what a special appearance means that I'm here only on special appearance to talk about these things that on my rights, not these codes, these statutes and policies, but my right, because they did things to violate your right, and you're gonna have to understand what those rights are. So again, we leave that right there. So now you have an introduction of how you got on child support, who really put you on there, how you and the mother needs to fix y'all situation outside the court. Also, who's the main corporate that done it. You know, when public welfare, when it started, all right, you understand that in 1975, that's when child support was enforced. That was literally 10 years, 9 years before I was born, because 75 is when they enacted, but 74 is when they was talking about it. But they possibly made it to law in 1975. That's 49 years ago to today. This is how much of advantage they have over a lot of you people because you don't understand. Child support is not a law. It's not an entitlement. It's not a right. You do have to take care of that child. Yes, that's a fact because they tell you that. Because every state has an abandonment clause for 6 months that you got to prove that that person did not hold up their end of the bargain. This is why it's so hard to make sure that to prove that mother unfit. Because long as she got that boy got on some shoes, or that girl got on some shoes, I don't give a fuck how many holes in it. She's doing the best she can, all the best of the budget. That's what she working with. But see, when the father come in, they be quick to lock him up or whatever. Let me tell you something right now. Somebody lock you up, and I'm gonna say really ain't even lock you up. It's kidnap you in a court of law, because I guarantee you, if your case and let me rephrase it. If somebody kidnap you in a court of law, when the court order is not correct, that's called kidnapping. Because what valid court order do you have? I know what it's supposed to have on there. Do you? People keep saying you get locked up. No, you don't. Because if you got locked up, that means you wanted to get locked up, because it means you adhere to what they was ministering, which is the bullshit. But you better understand this. You better understand this. If you don't understand anything else, you better understand this. You better start looking at your paperwork, because a lot of paperwork is fucked up as hell. Excuse my French. I'm sorry. I'm trying my best not to cuss on here. But it's messed up. And this is why your cousins, your uncles, your nephews, your dads, and your grandfathers are getting messed up, because nobody's looking at the paperwork. Really looking at the paperwork to understand what's supposed to be on there and what's not supposed to be on there. Because I'm really breaking down the near basic bare bones of what this structure is and how it's supposed to be done, and how things are getting misused and misrepresentation of things, and how your family is suffering because somebody else went down there and put this so-called fake service account on you. And let's be real, the court is a bank. If you don't think that that case number is not an account number and it's not getting public, what you call trade on the public market, you use a fool. All this starts from a social security number transaction, unlawfully transaction. There's a parent's bond. There's a man. See, I'm giving out too much free game right now. But yeah. So I'm gonna wrap this up, man, because I'm gonna talk about custody later. I'm gonna come back and make another video. But yeah, right now, this is Jonesville, Carolina's Freedom. Cash at me. $JONESVILLE 84. That's the Cash App. Help push the platform forward. Help push the platform for more content, and to break it down to a more easier mindset, more accessible to digest and understand. Understanding that the codes is one thing, but you got to understand the right that enforces the code that you're looking for the remedy for. I will leave you with this, because this came out of my actual state that I reside in. Is Supreme Court of North Carolina held that ignorance of the law is not, and ignorance of the law excuses no one. Merely because the person may not, or the individual may not know the context of the laws, doesn't mean that they get to escape the responsibility of the consequences that they broke. So when somebody say, I'm only just doing what they told me to do, I'm only this, that's not me, that's on them. No, ma'am, sir. I gave you notice, and this is the key word. When you put everybody on notice, that's when they say, I put you on notice. So somebody gave you a notice, ma'am, sir. Once they did that, literally they told you what was up. Now, they can't tell you what to do, but they can tell you what the law says. I guarantee you that. They can do that. By all shape, form, and fashion, they can tell you that. Now, what you do after that, that's up to you. Let your company screw you over, because guess what? They got money to get themselves out. Do you got money to get yourself out? FAO. You already know that. Mess around and find out, but you know what the F is for. So, same bat time, same bat channel. This your boy Jonesville. It's been real. Consultation starts off at $30 for 15 minutes. Uh, 30 minutes is $60, and if an hour for my time, it's $100 because I feel like the 30 minutes is where you're gonna get some kind of good thing because 15 just tells you the violations. I'll break down real quick for you, but that hour is where it comes from. For 1 hour, I guarantee you it'll change your life for $100 because then you'll understand what are due process violations, how you got wrong. All right, looking at your paperwork, that if you go get it, I could tell you, all right, looking at these individuals this is not me giving legal advice. This is a fact because this is the person who did it to you. All I'm telling you is this is the person who wronged you. That's not me practicing law. That's not me or whatever. That person is the one who brought this claim against you on behalf of somebody else, and they supposed to know the laws as well. And let me let you know this in a fun fact. By the corporate arrangements in their own fucking program, they're no longer acting as a government official. They're now acting as a single separate entity as a contractor. 1099 worker to be exact. So that means you're able to be sued under 42 USC 1983 deprivation of rights. Fun fact. But without further ado, it's your boy Jonesville, man. Same back time, same back channel. Holla at me. It's your boy.